Hi Gemini, welcome to your March 2020 love reading. It's Raina here. I mean, obviously we're well into March, or at least in the first week of March, but better late than never. And this is the, what is it called? The Ethereal Visions deck. I don't have the cover in front of me. This is the back of the card. And yeah, so this is very romantic looking, so I'm using that for this reading. Alrighty then. So the heart of the matter is the Five of Wands, which is a card of a lot of conflict. Although I even see, like, you know, it doesn't have to be something negative. If you're single, for instance, this can be kind of like the dating scene of like trying to vie for somebody's affection, or feeling like when you're in that situation, it does, you know, like if you're somebody who feels like you have to initiate, usually, I don't know how it is these days, between men and women, do women ask men out? I mean, I don't even know if younger men ask women out, or if women ask men out. They may be the aggressors these days. But the idea is jumping in the fray, being able to compete with others and feel confident. For some people, for Geminis, you're usually extroverted people, but you still may kind of like pull back if you're the kind of individual. No matter what your sun sign is, you might be shy, and you might feel like it's not even worth it because it's so risking rejection, for instance, something like that. If you're involved in a relationship, there may be this conflict that you notice is always there. And maybe at one time you were getting along, but it's not happening anymore that you're getting along, and you feel that sense of unpleasantness about the situation and don't know what to do about it. In the past position, we have the King of Swords. You know, King of Swords can even be like a judge, somebody who makes important decisions. And in that case, the Five of Wands might be like this ugly divorce. If there is somebody who is an air sign, especially like a mature air sign, we're talking about an Aquarius or a Gemini or a Libra. This person may be somebody that is worth fighting for, that has a lot of admirers, and you're going to have to, I don't know, I don't like to say the word impress them, but you may, you don't want to just kind of give up. However, even in the upright position, when I see kings and even queens, I sometimes think of people who are narcissists. And when I say that, I'm just using that as a catch-all phrase for people who try to control others, try to get what they want, are selfish and things like that. Problem personalities in relationships in this case. And this type of person may be very destructive and is creating a lot of drama in your life. And whether or not you're in a relationship with them, maybe this is a past relationship that you're still having to deal with, especially if you share a child together or something like that, and you're trying to move on from it to live your own life, but it's hard because that person's always there. I don't know, something in that vein. The higher message is the Page of Cups, which is a card about new love. What is she holding? Oh, she's holding that fish in the cup, which, you know, symbolizes Pisces. This is a card associated with Pisces. This card, a lot of times, can be interpreted as having a purity of spirit and, you know, trusting. But sometimes in relationships, that type of trust is misplaced, and the person is actually doing something that is not a good idea, where they're giving credit to somebody who hasn't earned their trust. And as the spiritual message, it's really talking about your responsibility. And that means that if you are single and you're looking for someone that you would like to have a real relationship with, I'm not talking about anybody can have a one-night stand or something that's very brief, you know, an affair. But if you're really looking for a relationship and you are single, you have to be discerning, and you have to be willing to make sure that somebody that you're dealing with is on the up and up. And because the Page of Cups can be somebody who is easily deceived. And this may be what that Five of Wands represents, is that you have this like battlefield that, whether this is like a current situation or has been in the past, doesn't really matter. Even though this is the current energy, it's, to me, talking about what it always ends up being. So in order to change course, it starts from maybe the type of person that you tend to get involved with, and taking it from there. What crosses you is the Seven of Wands. See, I when I put out this spread, I just got this feeling of a lot of like under siege energy. And the Seven of Wands as a challenge card can be that perhaps you are defensive, but that you, either that you're defensive and you keep people, you push people away, or that you have let down your defenses, that you tend to let down your defenses and not do what you should do, and you allow people in that should not come into your inner circle, if you will. And that sets the stage for a toxic relationship. And again, there are reasons for that. That I find that sometimes people are too impulsive when they meet somebody. If they're really like, oh, I have to find somebody, I have to be with somebody, they just want to get it over with and start a relationship with them. And instead of like believing that if the person is right for them, they can take their time and get to know them better. I know that sounds so corny and old-fashioned, but it's really so important, because the alternative is so scary to me, you know? Having somebody in your life that you realize, oh my gosh, I've got to get away from this person, and yet you're so intertwined because you live together or you're legally married to that person. Oh, and one more thing I want to say about the Seven of Wands. One of the biggest red flags is if that you meet somebody and there's a theme of you feeling like they're putting you down like right away. And then they just kind of go, oh gosh, I'm just joking, you know, you can't take a joke and all that. Then that's a real sign that something may be quite not okay. What's coming in is represented by the Queen of Swords. And I think that this is an interesting, I don't know if I get this very often. Because I don't know if I've seen this one. But the Queen of Swords is head over heart, but in a good way. Which means that if somebody has a decision to make, that they're going to make it from a place of logic instead of emotion. If somebody is upset about a situation that they have dealt with, you know, if you are in the midst of a nasty divorce and you're trying to just maintain your sanity, part of that upset isn't just because things are negative, it's the loss of what was once maybe a good relationship and how it turned so quickly. Or maybe it didn't turn that quickly, maybe it took time, but it still isn't a place that's not right. If you're single, the Queen of Swords can mean that even as an air sign, Gemini, which represents the swords, the swords represent air, the Queen represents water, so there's sensitivity, intuition, and that you're able to operate in relationships with both of these things. Think about it. A lot of relationships, a person is either one or the other. They're either so emotional, they have no detachment, they are very clingy to their partner, they're very dependent because emotionally they don't feel strong within themselves, and that tends to push people away. Or they're too detached, and the other person thinks, I don't even believe that they necessarily care about me. I just think they're, you know, maybe they like me, but who knows, you know? It's like 50-50. And the ability that you may have to have a blended version of that can serve you very well in attracting an appropriate person and the outcome. I've been getting this card, Eight of Wands, you know, sudden developments, you know, happening very rapidly. And so you could experience, and possibly this is with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, which are compatible for you, Gemini. And if you've had a drought in relationships, the drought is over, and perhaps you're going to, it's going to happen all at once. And you know, the thing is, are you prepared to meet a new person? Even if you've had a drought, you may be kind of like taken by surprise because you didn't expect it to happen so soon, or suddenly, I should say. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this, Gemini. If you'd like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.